Hi everyone, so you probably have seen quite a few hexagon pop-up type cards online. I know I certainly have. And so, yeah, so I've come across, well I haven't come across, I've made this one. This is a completely my original design from what, I mean I haven't seen one like this before. So quite often they either, and I've made them before where they pop up in the middle, so this bit would go down and then you'd have another bit of hexagonal around the back. But I decided that I would do a version of sort of like a flat version. So it actually stands up, that's the top bit, that's how it stands up. So you've got the hexagonal bit at the front, but then it's completely flat on the back. So it folds flat and it fits in a 6x6, I believe, or 5x7, I can't remember what I did it for in the end. It fits in a 6x6 envelope. So the card itself, when folded flat, measures 6x6. And obviously that just pops forward, you stand it up. If you wanted to, you could put a strut along there. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I might do it today, we'll see. But yeah, it's quite nice. Quite a nice little card, a bit different, folds flat. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. These papers are the Arctic Wonder paper pad from Trimcraft. And these deers I've had a while. These are from Dovecraft. That was from a different set, but also from Dovecraft. And this was just out of my stash. So yeah, so let's get into it. So for this card, you will need... Now, quite often you have lengths of, well I do, lengths of A4 that I've cut off from where I needed a, I don't know, maybe I needed a 5 inches or 6 inches, you know, maybe I need a 6x12, but I didn't have a 6x12 and I thought I'd use a 6x11 3/4 or whatever, and I end up with a bit of a strip cut off. So this is quite good for that. Ideally, you could do with having a 12-inch length. However, I am doing it today with an A4 length. So this is actually like, this is about 11 3/4. It's basically the length of an A4. So yeah, if you've got a if you've got a 2 inches high by 12, that's great. This is 2 inches by about 11 3/4. Whatever an A4 is, that's what this is. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to come back to these other pieces in a minute. So with the 2x12 strip, or 2x11 3/4, 11.5, whatever you've got, you need to get your scoreboard out, and you're going to score it at 2 inches, at 3 inches, at 5 inches, at 7 inches, at 9 inches, and at 10 inches. Okay, so that's all the scoring you need to do. And then we're just going to go ahead and mountain fold all of these score lines. Okay, so once you've folded all your score lines, you should end up with this. And so what you're going to do now is fold this flat on your desk, and we're going to decorate, we're not going to decorate these two pieces here, but all the other panels, the other 5 panels, we are going to decorate. So for decorating, you need 2 little tiny rectangles. The mat for these, this is optional, so this is this bit here, and this is basically on the finished card, it's this section here and this section here. So you don't have to necessarily decorate that, because from the front you can't really see it. I did it just because I thought it looked neater with it done. But those 2 pieces, the mat is 7/8 by 1 3/4, and the pattern is 3/4 by 1.5. Then you need 3 pieces that are 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 for the mat, and the pattern is 1.5 by 1.5. So we're going to go ahead and stick these on. So these 2 outer panels don't have any pattern on them, it's just these 5 inside panels. So I'm going to go ahead and stick these onto there. Okay, so you should end up with that. Don't mind the fact that some of my mats are slightly bigger and smaller than each other. I had a bit of a game cutting them all out. But anyway, so that's your finished strip, and so that's going to go around like that. So now I'm going to put that to one side just for a second and bring in our 2 other base pieces, and these are 4x6. Both of them are 4x6 inches. And on top of these, you need 2 mat panels that are 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then you need 1 white card panel, because that's going to go on the back. and then you also need one pattern panel, and both of these measure 3.5 by 5.5. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick this one onto there and that one onto there. Okay, so you end up with that. So that's your two panels, your two base card panels. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring our card back in. Now, if you want to, you can decorate the front now, but I'm going to wait until we get it into place, because then I can see what I can see and what I can't see. So what we're going to do now is just going to turn this over, and then on the inside piece here on the end, we're going to add a bit of glue. You can use red tape if you want. I'm going to use glue just because I've got a bit more time to wiggle them. I'm just going to put some glue on this end panel here, and then I'm going to take the this backing piece, make sure obviously it's the right way up, and I'm going to put it on here, line this bottom section up with the bottom of your strip, and fold your card over the top like that. And let's just make sure that it's nice and straight. Yes, nice and straight, that's good. And then I'm just going to fold it. So what we're going to need to do now is fold it on this second line here. So fold it on the second line, and then fold it on the second line here, and that's going to come over. And as you can see, there's a bit of a gap. So if you use 12 by 12, there won't be a gap. If you use anything shorter, like A4 or 11 3/4, 11 1/2, whatever, you'll have a bit of a gap. But that's fine because you're going to cover it up with this other panel. So that's what I was saying. If you wanted to, you could get away with not having this second base panel at the back, but if you do that, then you need to make sure you've got 12 by 12 really. You really need to make sure then you've got a 2 by 12 strip rather than anything shorter than that. So that's our card base done. Okay, now mine's gone over slightly, so I don't know if you can see that on here. You see where my base is, it's just overshot that line just slightly, but this is now already stuck. So, oh no, I haven't, it hasn't. I can rearrange it. This is another good thing with having glue. So you just need to make sure that it creases, it folds around both of those edges there, but also when you fold it flat, it does actually fold flat. Okay, so folding flat is your main concern, but you also need to make sure when it stands up, it does actually, you can still get that hexagonal front, because if it's too flat when it stands up, then that's going to be a problem. So hopefully that will work. It's not stuck the best, but anyway, we're going to stick another layer in a minute, so that'll help it. Right, so now we're going to go ahead and stick the other layer on the back. So this is the one that's going to go on the back here. It does make it very thick on the back there, so just make sure you don't use too thick a base card. My card that I'm using here probably is a bit too thick. I'm not sure how thick this is, because this was a oh, actually no, this is a 290. This is actually Paper Mill Direct Curacao Cocktail double-sided pearl card, and it's 290 GSM, so it's a really good weight. And actually I think for this card it's probably a little bit too thick. Could do with a smaller, like a thinner one. The one that I did originally was 240, about that anyway, roughly mid 200s, 250, 240, something on those lines, whereas this one's a bit more. Okay, so we're going to stick that down, make sure that's all nicely lined up, and so there's your base piece. And then we're going to go ahead and decorate. So I've decided to decorate using the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful snowflake dies from Coca Rosa Studios. I couldn't resist. They're just too beautiful. So this was a set I showed on one of my videos recently. These are snowflake dies, and you get 6 in a pack. I'll just lay them out so you can see them. If you use my code ICED15, you will get 15% off your order. But look how beautiful they are. They're just so beautiful. They're more star than snowflake. That's a real proper snowflake. But some of the others are very star shaped. But they're just beautiful. They really are. So I'm going to use those. I might not use them all because I've got quite a few there. But I'm going to decorate up with those. And then this was a Spellbinders die from a year or so ago. And so I've just cut it out of another piece of Paper Mill Direct card. This is a single-sided pearl. I can't remember what it was called. I'll write it in the description below in the product description later. And then I've got gold mirror on top. So I'm going to stick that. It's going to go in there like that. And then I was thinking about having a few little snowflakes coming out from behind. Or maybe even on here. I don't know. I just need to work it out. So the joy of this card as well, you have to remember, this is 4x6 on the back. But you have an extra inch here and inch this side. So if you want things popping over the edge, you can, as long as they don't go past your 6x6 frame, as it were, then you're fine. But you have got a little bit of room to play with there, which I quite like. I like that because it means you can, you know, you've really got freedom to go ahead and do what you want to do. So I'm just going to have a bit of a play and see. I think I might stick that on there actually. So I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to decorate this up. Okay, so there's your finished card. I decided to leave the front panel blank. I've got this one sticking out, which is fine. Because obviously when it's up, you've got it like 3D sticking out. But obviously it does fold flat as well. So yeah, so that's that really. So that then stands up like that. And as I said, if you wanted to put a strut across, you probably could, but you'd have to figure out roughly how to do it. I probably will do that at some point. But yeah, it doesn't really need it. I don't think it really needs it because you haven't got that much depth. And it gives you space to be able to see what's on the back. So it doesn't really bother me. These papers that I've used here are an old Dovecraft premium paper called Twilight Wishes. Very nice. All teals, purples and golds. Beautiful, beautiful papers. So yeah, so that's the card for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, hit the notification bell so that you'd never miss a video, and we'll see you for the next card making tutorial. Okie doke, bye!